Hi guys, I finally got around to showing you this book that I've made for a friend of mine who celebrated her 40th birthday, and she had an ABBA themed party. So I gathered, or she gave me all of her, or some of her photos and stuff, so I made a kind of a memorabilia album for her. So the cover I made out of denim. So it's this kind of leftover, it's recycled denim. There's two different types here. There's 3 signatures in it, and it's quite a thick book, as you can see from here. It's an A4 size. Normally I would only do an A5 size, but because I had so many photos and stuff, I really felt that it needed to be a bigger album. So I'll start by opening up this lovely bow scarf. On the front of it then I have just different types of materials, and they're just glued onto the cover. This is crocheted cotton, which I crocheted myself, so it's like a decoration or whatever you want it to be. Then there's some novelty wool. This is the thread of the denim. I don't know if you can see it there. And then some paper paper decorations. So to start off, inside you have the cover has and the back cover is the same. It has a pocket, so she can store some extra photos or any mementos that she had. So I made a little card out of this journal card. She can write on it, or she can put another photo. This was obviously a present that she got from somebody, the glasses and the Baileys. Didn't get to taste that, mind you. Then I just edged it with some blue, I think it was watercolour paint, just around the edges to make it pop a little bit. So that was that. Over here then I used just some scrapbooking paper, and then these were photos, and this is her 40th birthday. It was a big balloon, and this was a little sign that was there. So obviously I have covered all the photographs in here, but you'll get a general idea of what it's like. So then I sewed on this lace as well on the side, which I thought was quite nice. Again, this is scrapbooking paper, happy birthday scrapbooking paper. It has cupcakes on it, and Edels loves to bake, so that's why I used this one. And then I have 2 photos here. This is from her mum and dad. It's a beautiful photo, or beautiful card, so I stuck it in there. And I'll just show you in the back of the card, they had a little photo of her for her, I'm not sure which birthday party it was, but it was when she was only like maybe 8 or something like that. So I stuck that in there and put some cupcakes around it. And the backing card, or the backing paper here, is stenciled, and what I did with it, I got paper, just ordinary copier paper, and I scrunched it up and I just dabbed it around. I'll show you that later on, it'll be clearer in another page. The next page then is scrapbooking paper. Again, there's 2 different types of it here, and it's kind of butterfly themed. And then there's a photo in here, and I put a frame around the photo, as you can see there. And then I had this was gifted to me, I don't know where I got it, but I just thought it was appropriate to stick it in there, all butterflies. Over here then, this is her daughter made this card for her. She made her a few different cards, so I just show you just that part as well. And then I have a picture of her daughter in here as well. Scrapbooking paper here, and then this was watercolour paints that I just used to colour the paper, the background paper, and then just little edges they're just stuck on. And this was material, as you can see it here as well. It's a frill that I made myself. So I had old pink material that my mother had left me and some lace, and I just sewed the lace onto the material and ruffled the material as I sewed. Now the next page. So this page has 2 photos on it, and I edged the photos with this beautiful silver edging. I'll just pull it up there so you can, no, I can't get it. So just around the edges of the photos. And then this paper was biscuits were wrapped in it, so it's kind of like foil, so I just thought that was nice on it. Over here then I've done a little curtain style for this photo. So this is a photo of Edel and her husband, so hence all the hearts and everything. And then you have this little foil curtain that you can lift up, and then I have some ribbon around here, and this is just tissue paper, and then ribbon here again, and then you have the photo. So I thought that was just pretty. It's a nice little extra. So the next one then, so this is the middle of the first signature. This is I'm not sure if it's tea or coffee stained. I think it's coffee stained paper. It's quite hard to tell between the coffee and the tea sometimes. So anyhow, we'll call it coffee stained because Edel and myself used to drink a lot of coffee when we worked together. And so I used that, and then I have some red tissue that I just glued onto it. So this is a picture of her family, and I have some nice vintage lace. Again, my mother left me this lace, and a little heart there. And this was it's just material, and it's like I don't know, some sort of a band, or maybe it was a belt or something. I'm not sure what it was. And then this is just sewn onto it. And then this big for each of the middle of the signatures, I left the threads in, and I just made some little dangly things for decoration. These were old cards that I had, and I just punched out circles. And that's the card from her family. This again is scrapbooking paper. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Picture here, and then I just had this little stick-on smile, and because it's a group photo here, so I thought it was appropriate. This then is a beautiful card that she got from a friend of hers or something, and I loved the verse in it, so I wanted to leave the verse there, and I just punched a hole here because it's a three it opens up again. Sorry now. And what I did here, because it was all white in here, and because this was yellow, what I did was I just got some yellow watercolor paint and just put it on this page and put on the photo then in that. And then I backed it with this. This is homemade paper. I made this myself, and I made it from just copier paper that I shredded and soaked overnight, and I had 1 or 2 sheets of lemon paper. It's speckled around it, you can't really see it, you'd have to be up close to it, and it actually colours the paper very, very light lemon yellowy colour, and I just thought it was appropriate because the card was yellow and that sort of thing. So the next one then, so with this one what I did was I got out my watercolours and I just kind of painted like a rainbow, really light flowy rainbow, and I did some stenciling. I have this beautiful day stencil, so I just thought it was nice because her day was beautiful, and her night, the party night, and I just added some Del Montes here. And then this is a card frame that I got, and I just put some Del Montes on that as well. And this, if if I can remember, this is kind of a family page as well, because obviously she's going to have a lot of photos of her family from the day and the leading up to it and all that sort of thing. So over here then is another photo of her family, and I have the same frame here that I have over here just to kind of coordinate them. And this is kind of a male page, because it's kind of all male photos, like her husband and her kids and her father. So I made this tag then as well, and there's a photo on the back of it, and it's just green paper or green cardstock. And again, I went around the edge of it with green watercolor paint, and just added a little tab on the top and some ribbons, and that goes in there. And this one was gifted to me. I can't remember who gave it to me. Beautiful little shirt, I thought it was appropriate as well, and some raffia on the top. And then when you open it, I just have a little photo of her dad and her youngest son in there. Obviously that will be turned around when I give it to her. This then is just made from denim. It's actually the seam up along the leg of a denim pair of trousers, and some lace attached to it. It's sewn on, and I used pink thread on all the sewing that I did, because pink is kind of a prevalent colour throughout. So the next page, so this, you can see the denim paper clip here, and I just put it in to hold this in. It's easier to hold because it was kind of slipping down in here and then getting caught in this card. It just held the card very well. So this page I showed you earlier on, it's the other side of it, and it's basically done with the paper scrunched up, dipped into acrylic or I'm not sure whether it was acrylic or watercolor paint. I think it was watercolor, and just dabbed around and just gave a lovely background effect. And then I just used some stencils, hearts and flowers to put in to just add more dimension to it. And then I added this belly band, and because it was ABBA themed, I added some ABBA albums. So I just printed those out on photocopier paper and cut them out and stuck them in there. So that was that page. So that goes in there, and it just tucks in nicely there. Over here then, the background page, again, I did some stenciling. And what I did was I just used different coloured stencils on this one, as opposed to just the same, you know, black or whatever. And it's just, again, it's a very, very lightly stained, tea stained page. You can only see bits of it here and there. And then I put the stencils on it, mainly X's and life and things like that, and then photos. And you can see the little frame, so there's two small photos here, and then you have the bigger photo here. And this is just scrapbooking paper, just to give it a decoration, and some Del Montes. And again, I have the ribbon sewn onto the edge of the page, and that means that's the end of the first signature, because I have ribbon on each of the signatures, the first and the last page of the signature. And the last page of this signature is one of my favorite pages. So it's a tea stained page, A4 page, and then around the edge of it I got I dried out the tea bag, and I tore it up and just stuck it on around the edge, and I thought it was really nice. It just gave it an extra zing. And then this page here, or this tuck that I put the card in, this is fake handmade paper. So it's basically, and I have a piece of it here as well that I can show you. So it's basically an ordinary sheet. This one I have stained with charcoal, but you can use just a plain sheet, like an A4 copier sheet. And basically what I did with this, I'll bring it up a bit closer so you can see it. So you can see I have some thread and some tissue papers there, different colour tissue papers. And then this is the tea bag again. And all these things here are the actual tea leaves that you find in the tea bag. And what I did was I covered the page in glue, put all these things on it, and then put a napkin over it to seal it. And it's really, really beautiful. It's very textured. You can kind of hear it there. But they're great for you know, tucks like this, or even, you know, you can cut out stencils or anything you want. It's just beautiful. I really like using them.